people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman. I love what she's doing. She's fighting for us. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media.
All right, Dave Diamond for Conservative New Media, along with JDV and Rusty Humphries. You want my picture?
Well, this video is going to be so good, I want to make sure I had one too.
Okay, so you're actually videotaping us.
I am.
That works well. There you go. Rusty Humphries, for those of you who don't know, is a national radio talk show host. His show broadcasts on KFIV from 6 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's Pacific time for those of you that are somewhere else. So, Rusty, what brings you to Modesto?
It's halfway between Disneyland and my house, and it makes it easier for me to stop here.
And it's convenient because I'm here too.
Yes, I want to hang out. No, I'm here to hang out with Dave and see some nice folks here. Shut your cake hole! We're doing a show! Anyway, yes. So I like coming. Modesto's very nice. As you can tell, the people are nice to me, and
except for the ones that steal purposes.
That's right. Oh man, yeah. I'm here one day, not even one day, and I see a robbery at the Coach store.
So that's. Oh, you want? I'm sorry. You want to do actual media stuff, huh? We were doing radio talk show host stuff, and he wants to do media stuff. All right. So I'll give him the microphone and let him play then.
So, how did you get in?
Second with him.
How did you get? It's true. How did you? I'm high energy. How'd you get into talk radio? And tell us a little bit about your show for the viewers out there that might not, know you on the net.
The best story is how I got into radio. I started cleaning the parking lot of a radio station in Seattle, and I was told never, ever, ever, ever to go and talk to the DJs. So on my first break, on my first day, I went upstairs, and the news director was mad about somebody throwing stuff around the station, and I'm 16. I go, gosh, is there anything to do to help? Yeah, I don't want to go to this effing Sonics game tomorrow. Here's a tape recorder as a pass. Go give me some tape. No idea what he's saying, but okay. So I go to the station, I go to the Kingdome, and I see this guy named Wayne Cody. They used to call him the Mound of the Sound. And when I mean mound, he was big.
He was bigger than the three of us put together.
He was 450 pounds, yeah. And so
had the face for radio.
He was big TV star in Seattle, but he was like 450 pounds. And so he waddles into the Kingdome, and I follow him, and I show my pass. They let me in. He goes in this one room. He gets free dinner. They let me in. I go, and my name is on the press box. I watch the game. So the Sonics win the game, and after the game's over, I notice the other team had a bunch of injuries. So I guess I'm supposed to ask questions. So everybody's sitting around, and there's all these naked basketball players and stuff, and so that makes me a little intimidated. So there's Lenny Wilkins, the coach, and I walk up to him just like you do, and I go, Coach, do you think the reason the Sonics won tonight was because the other team's injuries? And the locker room falls silent, right? And he said,
ask you a real question.
Yeah, he says, what'd you say? And I said, do you think the reason the Sonics won tonight was because the other team's injuries? Now, what I didn't know was the Sonics had lost like 4 in a row, and this was the first win they'd had because of a bunch of injuries. And he said, and he takes them out. I'll be Lenny Wilkins now. You be me. You be Lenny.
Yeah.
Okay. Say, the Sonics won because the other team's injuries?
Do you think the Sonics won because the other team had injuries?
I don't give a blank about injuries. Blankety blank, mother blank, blankety blank. Get the blank out of my locker room. So that was my first day, and so I take the tape back to the station. They go, let's hear the tape. I go, what do you mean, Lenny Wilkins didn't like me. And so they play the tape, and they hated Lenny Wilkins. They thought it was the funniest thing they ever heard. And so our Cub reporter, Rusty Humphries, interviewing Lenny Wilkins, beep, 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 mother, beep, beep, beep. And so I got sent to go to every sporting event in Seattle for the next 3 years because hoping I would do something stupid. So that's how I got started.
I love it. So what do you think about the state of radio today? What do you think about the state of media and the new media, the internet stuff, and how that's affecting the whole shape of media in general and the conservative movement?
Media in general is in a difficult spot financially. Radio companies over-leverage themselves. There's a lot of companies in a lot of trouble. Some have recently gone bankrupt. Some of the biggest ones recently went bankrupt. So they're cutting and slashing. That's bad news for guys who are doing local shows. It's actually good news for guys like me who are national, because the stations are going to need more national talent because we don't cost the station as much money because we exchange airtime instead of taking direct dollars. So it's a very difficult time for broadcasting right now. As for the new media, it's great. The concern I have is the same one I had at tea parties. I go to tea parties and I see the worst speakers I've ever seen. People will finally get out there. I'm going to a tea party, and then they fall asleep because, and then I want to tell about my grandmother, okay? And so people go, I'm never going back. The problem is we got so many people that just suck on the net that people go, I'm not going to read this stuff anymore. Heck, I read a thing about Prince today. Prince wrote today, or there's an article, the internet's over. And I don't know if that's true from a guy that's 5'2", eyes of blue, coochie, never mind. But I can understand where there's, are they going to get bored checking out every, 10 million websites every day? I don't know.
Well, I think in the end, it's still, I mean, it's good for us, the conservative new media. We've been blowing doors. I mean, within 1 year now, we are the number 5 largest mainstream conservative site.
Doors? I don't want to.
We're blowing doors.
Anyway, sorry.
But the point is that at the end of the day, I think it comes down to quality, being entertaining, compelling, and having brand.
Yeah.
Right. And so, well, what about someone like Dave? I mean, what do you like about Dave's show? How did you guys work together to be on the same station? And I mean, he's doing the whole local thing, and that's worked really, really well. I mean, talk a little bit about that.
I mean, I know Dave. We talk on the email every once in a while. We communicate. I don't get a chance to listen to his show very much. I don't live in Modesto. We don't, exchange notes very often of, hey, Dave, what are you going to talk about today? He's one of the, I mean, I communicate with a lot of this, I'm on almost 300 stations across the country. But Modesto is a special one to me. They've always treated me very well. Dave's always been real nice. And so I enjoy coming down here.
That's awesome. And Dave, vice versa. I mean, what does it mean to have someone like him come down here, do an event, with you, and be down at the station and learn?
On a personal level, it's very important to me because Rusty has been very helpful to me as a talk show host, coming in the way I did. I didn't have a clue. We sat down at lunch one day at Trissetti's here in Modesto and had a discussion about how to be a talk show host, and it was very good. On a professional level, it's exciting because we get people to come listen to what he has to say. That gets them tuned into me, which he follows my show, and it helps everything.
By the way, I hope if you have video on what I did today, this doesn't count. Okay, I've been on vacation. I thought this was gonna be like 4 people here, and there's like 100, and it's like, what are we doing? I had no idea. So I'm not trying to make excuses for sucking, but just so you know.
No, I thought it was great, and that's absolutely valid and viable. We all have good days, we all have bad days. I want to ask you a couple other quick things. The one thing I wanted to make a mention at the end there was, a lot of things. The one gentleman said, hey, why don't we have a limit for campaign, this, that? And it's always the same thing. They're looking for these structures or different things to take away their own responsibility. As de Tocqueville said, it really comes down to people. Like you were saying about the kids in the school or the parents, whatever, it really comes down to you as a citizen to be informed, to educate yourself. You can't put it off on someone else. If you put a campaign limit on someone, all that is an incumbent protection bill, and that's what they try to do with McCain, the McCain-Feingold stuff, and they try to, when J.D. Hayworth was running, they were, before he was even running, he was a talk show host. They're like, oh, well, that's $500,000 of free campaign ads and all that type of stuff. So how do you get that message across to people? And what do you think are some of the best ways that just regular individuals, people who listen to your show, can just educate themselves and take their game to the next level?
I mean, it's going to sound self-serving, but it's true. I mean, you have to listen to the radio, talk radio, or watch websites and stuff. I mean, it's really the best way to educate yourself. And there's great books. I mean, Atlas Shrugged, Road to Serfdom. I mean, there's a whole 5,000-year leap. I mean, there's a number of books off the top of my head that you can read and be autodidactic, self-educated. I went to Ivy League college. I'm sorry, I've got very little respect for guys like that. Yeah, they're great. They got drunk and they got themselves through 4 years of college. Good for you. Now get some real life experience. And when you have to actually sit down and do it on your own and not have some professor tell you what to do, I think it actually sticks a little bit more.
Do you have any favorite candidates, favorite causes that are going on right now that people should tune into?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of J.D. Hayworth in Arizona. I'm a big fan of Sharon Angle. I've known both of them personally for a long time. I've known Sharon Angle for 20 years. These are the real deal, and these are people that actually are going to do the right thing because they have core values and core beliefs instead of just trying to get power for themselves.
Now, how do people get involved with you? How do they listen to your show? How do they get on your website, get involved with all, see where you're going to be speaking next? How do they get plugged into your show?
The best way is talktorusty.com. You talk to me. My name's Rusty. Talktorusty.com. That one's easy. You can watch the video stream, ustream.tv/Rusty. I stream the show. As a matter of fact, that was Dave Diamond's idea. That's one thing I did steal from Dave Diamond was the video streaming thing.
See?
Although I'll tell you, it is so intrusive. Oh, God, I hate it.
What's wrong? Yeah, it's great, though.
Because, for me, first of all, here's what folks don't understand. Gosh, you're just up talking for 3 hours. It's just talking, right? No. It's a grind. It's 3 hours a day, every day, 5 days a week. Think of your favorite. What's your favorite?
And the preparation for that and the whole
Like,
deal.
think of Friends, okay?
Right.
Friends was on, okay, it's 22 minutes.
Right.
They did, 15 or 20 episodes a year,
Right.
Okay? Look at all the people on the show. Writers, producers, makeup, acting coaches, blah, blah, blah. 22 minutes a week.
Right.
I'm doing 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, okay? It's hard.
And doing it very, very well.
I don't know about that, but so I'm sitting there and I'm doing a show and I'm doing something, I don't know, sometimes you get emotional, you get mad, and then they got a little chats thing, right? And they go, calm down. It's like, shut your cake hole, I'm working. Or,
I'm number 10 in the country, you're not.
it's like, well, that, and also I do the show, I do the show from my house. It's kind of one of the neat things. And
cool.
so people, they're entering my house and my daughter wants to come and ask a question. I got to turn the camera off because I don't want, stalkers going after my 9-year-old little girl. But there's all kinds of little things like that where the video stream, it's like, you have a bad day. Hey, Rusty, you have a bad day? What's going on? Leave me alone! So that one kind of gets to you a little bit.
But people love the interactivity. People want to be able to connect with you because
I'm sure they do, and I'd like to be in Pamela Anderson's house on video cam too, but she doesn't do it. So
we love it. Thank you, Rusty, so much.
nice meeting you. Take care.